Hello, this is the first video on this channel, and we're gonna be creating a to-do list, and we'll be creating it using React. This channel will be mainly focused on front-end development, and we'll be using Vite. So for the design, I created this design where we got a simple layout, a list of tasks. We can edit them, delete them. We have a section where we can see the progress of our tasks. There is also a section where we can add a task, just a simple form where we can add the name, category, and down here we have all the possible categories. So let's start by creating our project. I'm just gonna go to the documentation. We'll be just looking into documentation of all the stuff we're gonna use. So I'm just gonna copy this one, go to my folder, open the command line, and paste it here. We're aim to just create the project on this folder. So we wait for a little bit. It's gonna tell me which framework you're gonna use, so I'm choosing React, and for this tutorial I'm just gonna use JavaScript. Now we can see our project. It's already done in seconds. All I need to do is npm install to install all the packages, because they don't get installed automatically. Once installed, what we're gonna do is open it on VS Code, and here we are. This is our project. We got the public folder, the source folder, the assets, etc. So I don't need this SVG, so I'm gonna remove it. So we're just gonna go chill mode, and I'm gonna show you like the normal process of development, nothing fancy, just what developer normally goes through. So let's see our app file. I don't need all this. I'm gonna remove this class. I don't need it. Just gonna add hello world on this div and remove all the added stuff. I don't need this. So let's see the app. The app.css, don't need it. Index.css, just gonna remove all this. Don't need it. We don't need it at all. So let's see. I'm just gonna add a global CSS to override the browser CSS. That would be margin 0, padding 0, border box sizing, I mean. Box sizing, border box. Yeah. So that's all. Yeah, that's all for us. Let's run the project. Yarn dev, let's see, where do we get that? We get it from the package.json script. So it's yarn dev, yarn build, yarn preview. Anyways, so yarn dev, command to run the project. It says that it's running on the port 5173. Alt click, and here we are, hello world, and we got it. So let's see, let's go back to our design. Before we start developing, let's talk a bit about the design and let's see what kind of components can we make. So first, what I see is a list. I prefer to create like a container component. Then I'm gonna create like this action button component, a normal button, input, and this one with this color, F1, F5, FA. I'm gonna name it a card and make it a component also, because we're using it in different places. So I'm gonna create also a checkbox component and a typography component. I guess that would be useful and would make our code more organized and more readable. I don't like to have lots of JSX in my projects. I love to see just components that are well named, and it makes the project looks cleaner. So anyways, for the font that I'm using here on the design, it's WorkSense. Let's check out how to include it in our project. So I'm going to go to Fonts Google. Fonts Google, like you just look for it, WorkSense. What I need is regular for 400 and bold 700. I'm gonna choose the import option, import it. Then I'm gonna paste it in the index. Pasting it just here. Also, I'm taking this one, and I'll paste it on the root. I just want the same font on the whole project. Nothing complicated, nothing fancy. So let's go back to our project here and let's check if it works, we got the font or not. So let's see here. Yeah, so we go to computed, let's look for font family. Here, it's WorkSense, and that's what we want. So let's go back to our folder, the project. What I'd like to do is to create a folder for the components here. For this one, we're gonna change that. So first things first, we're gonna create the container. Why did I create a folder for it? Because I'm gonna put inside two files. The first one is the JSX file. The second file would be a modular CSS file. Model.css. Let's give it a class here. .container. All good. Then we go to here. I'm just gonna use RFC. If you don't know this shortcut, you can get it with an extension, a VS Code extensions. It's called the S7 something. S7 React React Native Snippets. This one. So let's go back to our code. So what do I want this container component to do? It's just gonna render some children, and I'm gonna import it as a prop. Normally you can do this props and be here props.children, but we can destructure that and get children only. All good. So let's import the styles for modular CSS. We need to import it this way. It's like this: container dot model dot CSS. Yeah, thank you. Let's give it a class name. The class name would be styles dot container, and so what does this mean? So it's gonna look inside this modular CSS for a class called container, which is this one. So let's add some style to this one. Working on Figma, it's easy. Just come here. Let's see. I want these properties. I'm gonna go to my CSS and do it like this. And let's see. One of the things I like to do is all my components, I want to export them from the folder. How to do that? It's easy. All I need to do is create an index.js, and I would to export default as container from container / container. You don't need to put the .jsx. It automatically takes the JSX file. So how do we import it? How do we use it? So let's go here. I'm just gonna import it here. So import container from the folder of components. As easy as that. I don't want a div. I want my component. Let's do this. Keep it like this. Seems nice and easy. Let's go back to our app. So let's see. So this is it. This is our component. It takes whatever you put inside the component. It's gonna be considered children. It's what we're importing here. So let's see. I want to center that container. The best way to do it, let's do something like this. I want a width of 50. Let's see. Yeah. Let's give it 70%. Looks nice. And I need a padding. Yeah. You need the padding. So let's see. Here we have 24 from the top and 63 from the left and right. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go here, padding. This is for the top and bottom. This is for the left and right. Oh, good. I'm gonna give it a position absolute at top 50%, on left 50%. And to make it really center and responsive, I'm gonna use the transform, translate -50 for the X and -50 for the Y. And let's go for the root and make it a position relative just to make sure that it works. Let's see our seems like it's not working. Let's go back and let me check. What's the issue here? So the issue is a height issue. So I'm gonna go here and give it a height of about viewport high, and it works perfectly. Responsive, working well. I can see because my component, it does the job. So let's move on and let's see, what do I need to do next? Let's check. So I want to create a typography component, which is gonna be very useful. Okay, let's work on the typography component. So I'm gonna create a new folder called typography. Inside, I'm gonna create a typography JSX, and I'm gonna create also the modular CSS for it. Typography model.css. RFCE again. We get this, and let's see. What I need to do here is I don't need to React. So styles from my typography, give it a class name. The class name would be just name it text, and here we're gonna create text class. So let's see. So in this, I will need the children, of course, because the text gonna vary. I mean, the content inside our component gonna vary. So, what's next? I guess I prefer creating something else. So, I remove this one. And let's see, we have regular, we have normal one, we have font size, font weight. Okay, let's give it a font size, and let's give it a font weight, or we're just gonna give it a bold. Just bold would be fine. So I'm gonna use the style. For the style, I'm gonna use this is gonna need to be font size. Font size, it's gonna be font size prop, and font weight. For the font weight, I'm gonna use a condition. In case it's bold, return 700. In case it's not, fine. So this is just an if statement, your condition, and if it's satisfied, this is gonna be the return value. Else it's gonna be this one. So let's see, this is all I need for my typography component. Seems good to me. So we're gonna test it out. First, what I wanna do is export it from here. Typography from typography. Good. Let's go back. So here, all we need to do change this. Et voila. And now let's see, let's give it typography. Hello world. And font size, let's give it let's check our design. How much is the font size here? 24. So let's go 24, and let's give it let's make it bold. As easy as that. So this is good. If you don't give a value to a prop, it's gonna be treated as a boolean. So let's check our code. So here we have a bold one with, let's check, go back to computed, font size 24, font weight 700. What if we remove the bold? Is it working? Seems like it. It's working. So for now, we're gonna stop at this, and we're gonna continue in the next video. And thank you for watching.